So today I'm going to be talking to you about 3 signs the lender that you're working with doesn't truly understand VA. There's a lot of people out there that say that they're VA experts, and I will be the first person to say VA has a lot of gray. Even if you do a ton of it, there's always new stuff that we're learning. However, these 3 things are no-brainers. So if your lender's saying any of these 3 things, you should dump them and call me immediately. Okay, so number 1, and just so you guys know, all of these that I'm using are stuff that clients have told me, it's stuff that I get in comments, it's stuff my team hears, so this is the stuff we hear the most of. Okay, so number 1, the lender told me that VA requires that I pay a 1% lender origination fee. No, no. So here's what's going on. So there's a couple of the big guys that do VA loans that have normalized charging 1% origination. It's what they do. So a lot of people never second guess the big guys ever because they're like, oh, well, this is what they do. They must be right? Well, and those guys aren't the ones that I'm hearing this from. What I'm hearing this from is smaller players who are taking what the big guys are doing with that 1% origination and using them to justify it. Yeah, so they're basically saying, well, VA requires that we charge 1%. That's why if you call XYZ or XYZ, they're also charging 1%. VA requires it. No, they don't, okay? So that's very important for you guys to know. VA, the only fee that you are required to pay, okay, is the VA funding fee. And if you're exempt, you're not required to pay that. Now, of course, will you have normal closing costs? Yes. But in terms of VA having a set lender fee you have to pay? No. So at guaranteed rate, we actually waive our lender fee on VA loans. We don't have a 1% origination. So if you're hearing someone say, oh, I have to pay 1%, the lender said VA said so, no. No. And we always verify. We're like, are you sure it wasn't the funding fee they were talking about? And they're like, no. And it's because so many people are taking advantage of the fact that some of the big guys are charging this. They're trying to make it so that everyone thinks that it's a requirement, which it's not. Okay, so that's number 1. Number 2, on a 30-year fixed loan, conventional rates are lower than VA. Wrong. And Dave Ramsey actually says this a lot. Like, I love him for certain things, but what he has said about VA loans is incorrect. The lack of research his team has done into it is actually appalling, and the damage that he has done by not fully researching it before he says stuff like this is horrendous. And here's why. So if you're looking at VA, if you look at the way a lender prices loans, okay, let's back up. So a lender is pricing loans based on risk. If I look at Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, which are the 2 big conventional players, they have certain loan level adjusters. So they'll have, like, loan to value XYZ, you have to add X onto rate. Credit score XYZ, you have to add X onto rate. So they have these loan level adjusters, and then you also have companies that are determining how much money they want to make on top of that base rate. Okay, I should actually do a video all about how lenders price. With VA doesn't have those loan level adjusters. Any adjusters that are being added onto VA is the lender. And beyond that, it's a federally backed loan. So that's why you'll often see VA and also FHA is federally backed. The rates should be lower because they are the lowest risk loans because they are backed by our government. Hello. So whenever you see a lender where the conventional rate is higher than VA, that is someone who is trying to make a truckload of money off of veterans. So if someone says, well, conventional is always lower than VA, that is not a lender that is interested in doing VA business. And if they are interested in doing it, it is at a significant price. And I would urge you, shop them immediately, shop them against a couple people, call us, shop us with them, because that is wrong. VA loans, VA 30-year loans should always be cheaper than a conventional loan. Always. It's the safest loan out there from a risk perspective as a lender. Yeah. Okay. And the third thing, so this one I hit a lot and it can be a little bit tricky. So 2020, let's go back in time. In 2020, VA actually eliminated loan limits. Yeah, they don't have loan limits anymore. So prior to that, it used to be that if you went over the conforming loan limit for your area, you would have to put down a certain percentage. In 2020, that was eliminated. So as long as your VA eligibility is not tied up with another property and we're not using partial entitlement, if we're using full entitlement, we can do $1 million, 1.2, 1.5, no money down. Yes, yes, that is the rule. Now here's what you guys are gonna hit. You're gonna hit two things, and this is what we see. Number one, lenders who don't recognize that happened. Maybe they do 2 to 3 VA loans a year. Maybe they're in a part of the country where the average loan amount's $200,000, so it's not in their brain as to something that is a big deal. I'm in California. It is a big deal here. It's a super big deal, and it's actually super cool. We're seeing people in San Francisco, in Los Angeles, we're seeing veterans utilize this benefit so that they're not liquidating their 401ks, they're not tapping into their stocks. You know, they're still qualified at a very safe debt to income, like we're not max qualifying or anything like that. They just don't want to dip into their cash. They're also getting a better rate than if I were doing a jumbo loan. Yeah, it's pretty darn cool when you start digging into it, especially if they're exempt from the funding fee. If they're exempt from the funding fee, it's magic. Now, another thing to know about this is the lender may recognize that they that VA got rid of the loan limits, but different lenders do have different overlays, so that's important. So for instance, if I'm going up to 2 million, my rules are definitely different than if I'm at 1 million in terms of debt to income, credit score, all these different things that my companies come up with. So the key thing is that if your lender says, oh no, anything over the conforming loan limit, you have to put money down, ding, 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 they're not used to this. This is not their wheelhouse. They don't know what's going on. They're not paying attention, and that's a red flag for you guys. Now, if they say, oh yeah, we can do that, but just so you know, if we go over this is what my company calls out, you know, let's plan ahead, that's a different situation. So you just wanna make sure that you don't get talked out of doing a loan, because, and that's what these really are, right? Like with the conventional rates are cheaper. No, they're not. You're talking someone out of doing a VA loan by saying you have to have a down payment if it's over the conforming limit. No, you don't. That's talking someone out of doing a VA loan. Okay, there's all these different ways people are talking people out of doing a VA loan, or they're trying to make exorbitant amounts of money off of veterans and active duty. Either way, it's not okay. So I hope that you guys share this video. If you have questions or comments, I'm licensed in 46 states. Guys, my team's awesome. They're so nice. They love talking to you guys. I talk to as many people as I can, to the point where I actually had someone say, Jennifer, you can't do 18 calls a day. And I was like, but I like it, but I gotta do my work too. So often you'll talk to Alyssa or Sam or Julie. I'm trying to get them on camera, guys, but it's like Julie's gonna do some stuff, but everyone else freaks out. So working on it. Anyways, licensed in 46 states, anything you guys need, I'm always happy to look at a loan estimate. I'm always happy to tell you, yeah, that's true, or that's BS. I will tell you if you're getting a good rate. We don't steal people from other lenders when they're being taken care of. So I really appreciate you guys watching, and I hope you have a good one.